Hello everyone, my name is Deckerlink, the Trained Unprofessional, and welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings, and welcome back, in general, to me, because I'm back, god damn it! I took a long time off, and I'm really glad to be back, so I already did a whole video yammering about what I did, and where I went, and what happened, and blah blah blibbity. I'm back now, so let's just play games. That's what I'm here to do, play games! We'll go play games! Games are fun! Fun games! When I followed, I realized that I wasn't sure how to get back to my apartment. Now, it has been a long time, so if you don't remember, I fucking don't, actually. Now that I'm realizing it. I really should have watched the last episode. I have no fucking clue what happened last. So let's just find out together, shall we? Great start! Great fucking start. Surrounded by trees in the blanket of... No, yeah, we were getting interrogated by, well, not interrogated, but we were getting a bunch of science bullshit shoved down our face by, the guy, the dude with the mask. I don't remember what to call him, but whatever. Surrounded by trees in the blanket of night, it was hard to make out where I stood. After wandering through the underbrush, I realized that the lights on the horizon had to be coming from the village, and I made my way back. Hey, we're back home, yay! I returned to my apartment without much trouble. Loving this microphone, you're getting to hear all of the disgusting sounds I make. When I looked at the clock, I was surprised to see how much time had passed. Not having anything left to do for the day, I soon fell into a deep slumber. A deep slumber. It's at the end of the day, so my voice isn't as good as it should be. Seems there's nothing for me to do this morning. Do this morning? I'm a voice actor, I know, inflections work, I talk like a normal person. I guess they don't need me at the police department. Not that I mind. Seems I got some messages. Let's see. Hey, are you coming to see the show? It's gonna happen pretty soon, you know. I trained so much for this you wouldn't believe. Probably harder than I've ever trained in my entire life. I really hope you can make it because I want to show you all I've got. Well, of course we're gonna meet with her. She's trained harder than anything ever in whatever the fuck, so of course we're gonna meet up. I just realized the globe behind me looks like there's two glowing eyes on it, and that's freaky as shit. That must be her. Is it? It is! It is indeed! That's my mouse. Let's get that the fuck off screen. Hey, Pierce. Hey, Dean. Are you ready to go? Sure am. I can't wait to see everything the festival has to offer. Oh, I'm sorry if it came across that way, but I don't think we'll actually have much time to take part in the festivities. Oh, really? Yeah, I'll have to spend most of my time at the competition grounds. We'll arrive there early so I can check in and do my warm-up, and I'll have to stick around after my performance to wait for the award ceremony. Well, I guess you don't have to wait with me. You could see the rest of the festival if you wanted to. That's out of the question. I'm here to spend time with you, motherfucker! The festival is not that important. Besides, we can always see everything on one of the other festival days. True. And another worm more for the festival days. More festival, more fun. I wish I was at Midwest Tour Fest, motherfucker. I'm not even going on Twitter for like the next week because all that's gonna be there. All that's gonna be there. MFS this, MFS that. I'm not. We could even watch the big fireworks show at the end. Ooh, fireworks. That sounds fun. Yeah, I've heard about that. Everyone keeps telling me how important it is for me to see. It's not that important, but if you have the opportunity, you really should go. I'm not sure if I'll be able to attend, but I'll gladly accompany you if I have the chance. Sure. So today's agenda is emotional support, and next time we can take in all the aspects of the festival. Sound good? Perfect. Alright, let's go then.
Yay! We're going to a festival. We're going to have some fun today. It's going to be so good. I'm so excited!
It took a while for us to arrive at the festival, which had already begun by this point. The last of the booths that lined the way were still being set up, but dragons of all shapes and sizes were already pouring in. Instead of walking directly through the festival, we stayed outside with the established paths, heading towards the stage where the competition was going to be held. I hope the microphone doesn't sound too odd. I noticed in the Talking Back episode that it was a bit over. It was too loud, so I'm kind of talking more softly, and I'm hoping it works! I guess we'll see. Eventually we arrived at the rather large open-air area near the facility that had been roped off. At one corner of the building, a few flyers had already gathered.
Maybe you should wait here while I get my number.
Why?
People might get the wrong idea if you show up in a registration line. Besides, they'd certainly stare and start asking all kinds of questions.
Alright, I'll stay here then.
I'll be right back.
After Adine had waddled off to the other flyers, I surveyed my surroundings idly. Beyond the open air area, seating had been provided, and I could already see a few people waiting for the competition to start. A few had even gathered on the roof of the building to watch from there.
I'm back.
Is that your number? She should have a number. Oh, okay. She held up a piece of cloth with a large number printed on it. A few straps were hanging on from it.
What, this? No, of course not. This is Lightning's number.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. You fucking... I don't go out in public and call myself Decalink. You shitting me? Son of a bitch.
I'm one of the last to start, actually.
Are we late?
No, I guess the others just arrived earlier to have more time to get ready.
What do you think of the other competitors?
I've seen most of them fly before. Some are really, really good. It doesn't seem like there are many newcomers here, so right now, I'm the odd one out.
Maybe you could use that to your advantage.
How so?
Well, you know more about them than they do about you. Having a promising newcomer there might throw them off their game.
I'm not so sure about that. After all, it's not as if any of our already choreographed performances would change based on what the others do now. Each of us just tries to do their best. Most of them are seasoned flyers, so they already know how to deal with that kind of pressure. If anything, I'm the one who might get nervous and mess up. I do have one advantage, though. I'm still pretty young, and this is a sport with a great amount of wear and tear. There comes a certain point in time where you just can't perform as well as anymore as you used to.
That's the thing with a lot of sports, and in wrestling, it's really hard because like wrestling really banks on nostalgia, and so when you see your favorite wrestler like 20 years down the line or 10 years down the line and they're just a shell of what they used to be, but they're still clinging on, there's a part of you that's like, oh yeah, I still root for them, they're my guy, but the other half is like, please don't fall down too hard. I don't want you to break.
Many complicated maneuvers can only be performed by younger athletes. The older ones can make up for it using their experience and with better execution of easier moves. In the end, a daring newcomer like me could surprise the audience and the judges with something new and unexpected, which is exactly what I plan to do.
Ooh, okay. Wow, there's like, I'm looking at the audio readout, there's like no middle ground. I'm either talking super quietly or way too fucking loudly. Oh, Jesus. I'm trying. Oh, this middle part shit. Let's fuck up my hair a little bit. There you go. What the fuck is this? I don't know, but I'm fine with it. How good do you think your chances are?
With a bit of luck, I might be able to win. This is just for a local competition, after all. But you know what? Just being here right now and performing in front of so many people is a win for me. People will know me, and I'll probably get a mention somewhere in a local paper. I've trained for years, and my application to compete finally got accepted. Now I just have to make the most of it, and I'll be happy. I still can hardly believe that I'm here. This is the moment I've worked so hard for.
And I'll be watching you.
Oh, stop it. You're making me nervous.
Sorry.
Can you help me with this?
She spread out her wing, and only then did I notice her shoulder joint was tightly bandaged. What's that for?
It's just a training bandage to stabilize my shoulder after that little blunder you witnessed last time. We can't fly with these in the competition, though, so I'll have to take it off.
Okay. I opened the bandage, carefully unwrapping her wing. There you go.
Thanks.
She spread both of her wings, beating them a few times. I couldn't help but noticing the previously damaged wing was sagging noticeably compared to its counterpart, as if it was misaligned. Uh-oh. She seemed to be examining her shoulder, somewhat lost in thought when I spoke up. Are you sure you want to do this?
Yes, of course. Why wouldn't I? I can see you're straining without the bandage. I'm fine, really. Don't worry about it.
Be careful, man. I don't want anything bad to happen to you, man. I want to see the fireworks with you, man. I want to have little dragon human babies. How would that even work? I don't even know.
If you're fine without the bandage, how come you were wearing it up to just now? Did you need it for practice too? If you couldn't practice without it, maybe you aren't ready to compete without it yet. Since when are you suddenly an expert on flying? I'm the one who's been doing this for years, not you. This is my dream we're talking about.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Like, damn. Like, that's the tough part, is that when someone is so... it's always good to, like, follow your dreams, but if you become so consumed with following your dream to the letter, then sometimes you don't allow life to, like, actually do its thing and maybe make something that would be just as good, if not better, out of what is, as opposed to you trying to force it to be something that it isn't. Like, I remember one time, you know, my dad has always done the lottery, and I remember one time... Because he's always like, this is my retirement plan. If I get this, I'm going to open up a CD, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And it's always this, he even had a little fridge magnet that said, my retirement plan, win the lottery, retire. Like, it was that. So, and he's just always buying lottery tickets. And so I remember one time I asked him, I was like, do you honestly believe that you're going to win it? And he's like, I could. And I was like, yeah, but you're really not likely to. I mean, statistically speaking. And then he was like, this is just my freaking dream, all right? I was like, whoa. Whoa. I was like, damn. Like, my dad, ew. It got a little scary. There's a little more context to it. Like, my dad didn't have a lot to cling to in terms of hope. But it was just like, okay. Okay, you go right ahead. I'm not gonna, you know... Because I don't want to piss him off, because if he does win, I don't want to fucking lose out on my share. I'm just saying. Do you want them to see you in this condition and judge you based on that, rather than when you're at your best? I just have to try, you know? What if something goes wrong, though? You don't want to be in that position. If I start making excuses now, maybe I'll never stop. I'll always be too nervous, or too injured, or didn't eat right the day before. I feel bad enough as it is. Right now, I have a chance to do this, and if I don't take it, maybe I never will. I'll always just be a server and delivery girl making minimum wage. Is this one chance really too much to ask for? No, but it doesn't have to be right now. There will always be another year. They've never seen you compete before. If you fly now, they'll judge you based on this performance. You only have one chance at making a first impression, and you know it won't be your best if you fly right now. If it's not good enough, maybe they won't invite you again next year. If you fly now, they won't accept any excuses. But if you tell them you're injured, they might let you fly another time. But I don't want to wait another year. I want to do it now. I trained so much, even with this injury, and you tell me I should just let it go? I just can't help thinking about last time. If you crash like that again, there's no sand here to cushion your fall. It could be much worse. I hope to God this isn't foreshadowing anything. You think I don't know that? That I'm not already worrying about this more than I ever have for anything else? I just don't want to make excuses anymore. I don't want to wonder if I'll ever amount to anything more than a waitress. I want to be able to follow my dream, and I don't want to wait another year to find out. What about Ainley? If something happens to you, how do you think they would explain to her that you just suddenly stopped showing up, huh? God damn, dude. Like, there's sympathy, and then there's... Oh, fuck. Oh, damn. Oh, no, you brought in a baby. You do not talk about the baby. Don't you dare bring her into this. She has nothing to do with it. Like it or not, what you are doing could have consequences, and there are others beside you who will be affected if something goes wrong. You know what? I will fly and do the best damn job I have ever done, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Damn. Damn, dizzity damn. Before I could reply, she angrily stomped off towards the building, where by now a number of contestants had arrived. While I had failed to convince her, at least I could say that I had tried my hardest to stop her. I asked myself whether I even wanted to watch the competition at that point. It was possible that she'd do even better than expected, but if my experience was any indication, her performance would not turn out well. In the end, I decided to stay and watch from the sidelines. I didn't want to join the rest of the audience, as I was sure it would get me unwanted attention. After the competition started, I lost myself in thought, thinking over the conversation I had with Adine while watching the other contestants half-heartedly. Adine had been right. Some of them really were good, but based on what I had seen at her practice sessions, she did have a shot at winning if everything went well for her. Even though my rational mind doubted that would happen, for her own sake, I hope it would. One by one, the contestants showed off their skills in a variety of moves, usually followed by the applause of the audience. Eventually, it was time for Adine's turn. That was sure a lot of build-up for hopefully nothing to happen. Like, I really hope I'm eating crow after this, because, oh god.
Next on the stage is number 11, a promising newcomer who will show her skills to the public here for the very first time in her debut performance. Please welcome Lightning! It was an excited bout of clapping. The audience was always curious to see a newcomer on the stage. However, after a few seconds passed, Adine still hadn't emerged. An awkward silence set in as the audience's applause stopped and everyone sat anxiously waiting for her to show up. She never did. After half a minute or so passed, the announcer's voice once more echoed across the area. My apologies, it looks like number 11 will not be flying today. Next up is number 12, a certain veteran you may know as somewhat unusual technique. I don't give a shit. Before I could even ask myself what had happened, I saw Adine walking out of the building and coming towards me. She listened. Like, it sucks. It really sucks to have to put your dream on hold, but it is better to be 100% in the future than to risk it all. Because that crash on the beach really could have fucked her up. Especially, like, it looks like there's just cement out here. Like, holy god. I'm just glad she's fucking... Even if she's gonna be disappointed, she's gonna be sad, I'm glad, at least for her sake, that she has a better chance. Because she was at 100% before when she fucked up. So if she's fucked up now, she's way not good.
Adine, what did you do? Let's just go somewhere else.
Okay. No. Wow, we really went out in the middle of nowhere, didn't we? We walked away from the festival and sat down under a tree in the outskirts of town. As the competition was already nearly over, the darkness had already set in.
Here should be good. So what made you reconsider? You were right with everything you said. When I was inside and had a bit of time to cool off, I realized I didn't want to do it like this, even if I'd have to wait another year.
How do you feel now?
I know it was the right thing to do, but I can't help but thinking that I just came so close, that I could have done it if it hadn't been for the stupid accident.
You'll have another chance, I promise.
Don't make promises you can't keep. Hey, Pierce, look at the sky. Can you see that light? The one that looks a bit brighter than all the others?
Oh god, that's the asteroid, isn't it? Oh god! That's not good! I looked up and saw many celestial bodies lighting up the sky. One of them was noticeably brighter than all the other stars. Yeah?
I usually practice in the evening and stay until it's dark, so I see the stars pretty often. I noticed something about that one. It moves.
Yep, it's the fucking asteroid. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God! How does it move? It looks pretty stationary to me.
You won't notice it by just looking at it, but over the last couple of weeks I have noticed that it changed positions when comparing it to the other stars.
It can't be a star, then. Stars don't move.
They have an office in one of the cities that watches these kinds of things. I called them about it a while ago.
What'd they say?
It's just an asteroid passing by. It's even been on the news a few times.
Makes it sound pretty important.
Yeah, it's a big one, apparently. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be able to see it without a telescope.
Do they think it's dangerous?
Why would it be?
I don't know. It could hit the moon or something like that.
They assured me that's not going to happen. They say calculating the paths of celestial bodies is a very complicated science, and not really an exact one. They know it's not going to hit the moon, but they're watching it to make sure it passes safely.
Not that just watching it would make a difference.
They don't really know anything more. Apparently, they're also really underfunded. The council doesn't see the need to waste people's time and money to look into the sky all day.
Why waste money on up there when we got problems down here, motherfucker? When the asteroid comes, we're gonna wish we had invested in up there, because up there's where the shit comes from. Down here, we know what's here for the most part, except the ocean. That's strange, don't you think?
It used to be a pretty important job, but over time the funding got less and less until only this token office is our biggest in our biggest city was left.
I see.
It's such a shame, since the whole institution was based on our creation story.
In what way?
In one of our stories, our creator told us to watch the skies.
How religious are you, really?
What exactly do you mean?
Well, dragons have these myths about humans. How many of them do you actually believe are true?
Oh, I believe all of it. I just love reading all the stories, theories, and all that.
Why is that?
Well, I think there's a lot we can learn from it. Much of our society is based on it, including our laws and traditions.
I see.
Can I ask you a question? Sure, go ahead.
What would you think if I told you that I am a time traveler from the future?
Hey, don't joke about something like that.
Why not?
Because I'd believe you. Besides, if you were really a time traveler, I think you'd come from the past, like the time when we were created.
Really? Why's that?
Because that's the only time in our history where we know of humans ever being here. If you came from the future, that would mean humans were to show up at some point in our future history. And I'm not sure how or why that would happen.
Wouldn't that mean that I was your creator?
Well, not necessarily. There could have been other humans around, right?
Your myths only mention one, though.
Yeah, but people speculate, trying to find explanations for those old myths. Maybe there were more humans around, and they just died, or their creation rebelled and killed them.
What?
Others say they fled across the ocean. We just don't know.
Well, what do you think?
I don't know. I like reading about all the theories and trying to piece the puzzle together myself. That's why I want to visit that underground building we found. Some of the theories are quite out there.
Like what?
Well, for example, one says that humans are really aliens who came from a different planet. They created us for some reason and then just vanished again.
What would they do that for?
Maybe it's an experiment and they're testing us. Some say they're always watching from up there somewhere with a giant mothership, and that maybe one day they'll return when we're ready to join them.
That is pretty out there, I'll say. Not too far away from reality, according to this game. I'm not a Scientologist, not even close.
Told you so. What about the humanity you come from, though? Why don't you tell me more about your world?
I don't like talking about that. It's much prettier here.
I don't believe you.
It's the truth.
I'll believe it when I see it from my own eyes. I'd love to visit your world.
I don't think it would be a good idea to visit us right now.
Why not? Do you know what our world is like? Are there any rumors about that? Not really. There hasn't been much speculation about that yet. Of course, we're curious, though. Next time, we want to send one of our ambassadors into your world to make it even and all that.
I'm not sure if that's a good idea.
Don't be so negative.
I'm sorry. It's not up to me to determine the best course of action. I'm just a lowly ambassador, after all.
Not quite as lowly as a waitress with nothing more than high aspirations. Maybe it's time for me to go home.
I would walk you, but I guess you'd be faster if you flew.
Nah, I'd rather not without the bandage.
You serious? And you were gonna do your performance like that?
I know, I shouldn't have tried. You don't have to bring that up again.
I'm sorry. For what it's worth, I think you made the right decision in the end.
Thank you.
Shall we go then?
Sure.
Fade to black. And now we're at her room. Oh. Why the porn music? Oh God. Oh God. There we are.
Do you want to come in for a bit? It would be a shame if you came all this way for nothing.
Sure. She opened the door, wiping her feet on the doormat before she went inside.
Can I offer you something to drink, maybe?
No thanks, I'm good.
How about some TV?
That could be interesting. I haven't watched TV in ages, and I don't have one in the apartment.
You're right. You got a pretty decent apartment, but they didn't provide a TV. I wonder why.
Maybe they wanted to avoid culture shock or something like that.
You got a shelf full of books, though. Why would books be fine but not a TV?
I suppose when they give me books, they know what I'm going to read. But on TV, they can't really regulate the content I'm going to see. At least if TV works the same way as ours used to.
That's true. Maybe they just thought your time would be better spent elsewhere.
I guess. If they didn't want me to watch TV, they certainly never told me.
Actually, there's a series on right now that would be pretty interesting to you.
What is it?
Well, I'm not going to tell you. Do you want me to put it in or not?
No, I don't want to put it in. Put it in. Sure, let's do it. Let's do it. Adine turned on the TV, and a brief flicker appeared on the screen before it was filled with the image of a house from the outside. That doesn't look unusual.
Just wait a bit.
The camera cut to the inside of the home while the chattering and small talk could be heard. Then some figures entered the living room on the screen. They were grotesque, malformed creatures with rather cartoony proportions, covered in odd lumps all over their body. They all shared the same odd skin tone. It was clear to me that these figures were played by actors in obviously fake, bulky costumes that reminded me of mascots. What are those? Oh, Jesus, what are those?
Humans.
Humans?
That's the name of the series. It's a typical sitcom about a contemporary family as we would expect it, but the twist is that everyone is human. And then I realized why I hadn't been able to identify the creatures on the screen as humans. They were all naked. Since the dragon's concept of clothing was different, they had applied their own principles when creating this series. It was quite bizarre to see a typical family sitcom where all the characters were obviously fake costumes and also happened to be naked. Do you like it? It's one of my favorites. While it is a sitcom, it manages to address serious and deep issues fairly often, which I don't think would be as effective if we weren't watching them through the lens of this alternate reality. This one isn't a bad episode, but it's already nearly over.
I guess there's no point in just watching the ending.
True.
By this point, the credits were already rolling, and Adine turned off the TV again.
What do you think?
Let's just say if a human looking like that suddenly showed up in our world, people would probably run away screaming.
They don't look that bad.
Sure, it's impressive if we consider what they had to work with, but there's a few things they got wrong.
Like what?
Oh, God. For one, humans mostly wear clothing, and secondly, we don't have tails.
Those are just small details. The series is still good, though.
Is it popular?
For sure. Many people love it.
I see. I hope they aren't too scared of me when they see how different I am, though.
I didn't run away screaming when I first met you, did I?
True.
Now that you're already here, there is something you could help me with.
What is it?
Well, it'd be a huge favor to ask, and it's kind of embarrassing.
Just say it. The worst I could do is say no.
How should I say this? It's about my shower. I get pretty dirty from practice sometimes, especially from the bad landings, and recently the detachable shower head broke. That usually wouldn't be much of a problem, but with this injury I can't quite reach a few places on my...
Oh my God. Oh, buddy! Well then, I think we're gonna have this nice shower advent. I'm kidding. We're gonna keep going, motherfucker. We ain't gonna stop now. We ain't stopping now. I want to make that's the thing, is we make a day last the whole episode, or at least when a day isn't stretched out by a long ass fucking science explanation. So let's keep fucking going. It's already not ideal to having to manage everything with my wings, but now it's even harder. Hey,
You want me to scrub your back?
I guess you could put it that way. I told you it was embarrassing.
I'll do it. I'll totally do it. Don't worry about it. I'm glad to help.
Thanks. This way. Well, if there is dragon nudity, do I have to censor that? They're technically already naked. I don't understand. Oh, Jesus. I don't even want to know. There's something's going to interrupt it. I'm fairly certain there's going to be something. I followed her, entering a rather large bathroom. The shower's huge. I wouldn't mind having one of those. Or these. This isn't just your regular dragon-sized shower. It was made specifically for a flyer like me. We need enough room to stretch out our wings. Just think of the possibilities. She took off her goggles. Oh, she stripped down to and stepped into a roomy walk-in shower. After pressing a button on the wall, water started flowing from the shower head mounted on the wall. She moved around a bit, stretching this and that way in order to cover her whole body in the water. Soon afterwards, she pressed the button on the wall again, and the water flow stopped. She turned to show me her back, wings splayed. I mean, technically, I don't have to censor this, because it is just a dragon. There are a lot of implications, though. Why am I talking like this? The soap and sponge should be right there. I took a sponge that wasn't unlike the ones I knew from back home and added some soap from a rather big bowl. It seemed to me that each species had their own challenges that needed to be overcome when it came to daily tasks like this one, emphasized by all the different design choices when it came to everyday items. You can start with the wings and work your way down from there. Sure thing. I couldn't help making a joke to ease the tension a bit when I put the sponge on her muzzle. Hey, it looks like you got something here. Oh wait, it's just your stripes. Oh, hey, stop that. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Good job. Now I got soap in my nose. I started scrubbing her wings. Now I could see them up close and fully extended. I found them to be quite impressive. Scrubby, scrubby, scrubby. You know, I actually tried to do that before.
What do you mean?
Washing off those stripes. Why? Oh, it's just a child back then. You know how kids are. They make fun of everything. Though I don't know if human children are the same way.
They are, trust me. Scrubby, scrubby.
Don't press too hard there. That's the injured shoulder.
I'll be careful.
Eventually I reached her lower back, and while I was washing a particular spot on her left side, I could see her leg twitch slightly.
Uh-oh. Are you ticklish there?
I guess you noticed.
What happens if I do this?
I repeated my ministrations, moving the sponge in circles over that particular spot. Hey, stop that! She started squirming, and suddenly her tail whacked around and hit me in the face. Oh, Jesus. Causing me to stumble and fall over backwards. Are you okay?
Yeah, I guess I deserve that.
Well, you tickle the dragon, you get the
tail, apparently.
The forked big tip of her tail was still hovering inches from my face. Its peculiar shape reminded me of something, and I couldn't help but grab it and hold it like a telephone.
Hello? Hello?
What are you doing?
I think your phone isn't working.
Stop being silly.
Alright, I'm nearly done anyway. I resumed my scrubbing, by now only her tail was left. Not being entirely sure about my technique, I moved the sponge over the tail's whole length in small circles. When I was nearly done, I noticed a low rumbling emanating from her, reminding me of what an oversized cat's purr might sound like. Interesting. Are you purring? Suddenly her expression changed as she looked over her shoulder. Oh, are you done? You should take a step back if you don't want to get hit by the water. Okay.
After I left the shower again, she pressed a button on the wall and the water resumed once more. She only stood under it briefly and moved around a bit until the water had completely washed off the suds. She turned off the water again. I realized I didn't cling to her much at all. What? Oh, I realized that the suds didn't cling to her much at all. After she shook herself a bit, she stepped out again, nearly dry.
Thanks, I really needed that.
You're welcome.
It's really getting late for you, and I already held you up this long.
Don't worry about it. Oh, it's already dark outside.
I guess that took longer than I thought.
I'm not supposed to go outside this late.
You're right. We were advised by the police to stay inside after nightfall because of everything that's going on.
For me, this is even more important. We don't know if there's anyone out there who might want to target me.
I suppose you'll just have to spend the night then. How convenient.
I guess so. Oh. What? Oh. Boo! Nothing happened! Ah! We did share an intimate moment in the shower. Not really. Ah, Jesus. There is something to be said if my expectation was dragon fucking. Like, I'm playing too much of these games. You see what this shit is doing to me? I swear to God. Son of a bitch. Alright, I think that's gonna do it for this episode of Angels with Scaly Wings. Darius, get the fuck out of here. How the fuck do... Oh, yeah, it's escape, isn't it? Boom! Yes, I'm gonna save. Look at these save spots. October 25th. November 30th. It's been over a month since I played this game. Holy shit balls. Thank you all very much for watching this episode of Angels with Scaly Wings. On the next one, we will see what this Another Free Day does. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I have been the trained unprofessional speaker for the voices in my head when I say until next time. Fare thee well. Bye, everyone!